Hello, I'm Mark Pikert, editor-in-chief of The Gay Goods, and 15 years ago I was fired from my first job in gay porn, but now I'm back, and though the faces may have changed, the hassles are still the same. Joining me today for this installment of The Gay Goodies is one of the biggest stars in porn, like full stop, in porn today, Dante Colle. We're going to get into it with Dante. We're going to talk about his start, we're going to talk about his tattoos, and we're going to talk about his very strange, sparse Amazon wish list. Dante Colle.
the wish list comment.
So, I mean, we can dive right into that because I've taken a screenshot of your wish list.
I apologize. 1 second. It's give me the whole gargle thing. I think it will clear up in a minute. Wait.
We'll wait.
Oh, come on. It was doing this before.
See, this is what I get.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we're good.
So, what is this Bluetooth color-changing rainbow LED lights with an app control?
So,
it's music lights for bedroom, room, kitchen, and party.
Yeah, for all the partying I do. So that is a so my I if you've ever seen like pictures or videos of my place, it's like I just got LEDs like decked out everywhere. And my friend recently she started making like these clouds, like they're just like big cotton balls, but they're like she throws LED lights in them, and they're like really cool. And she made me one for Christmas, but then it was like a solid color one, but like this one can be like each LED is like a different color, and she made a few like that. And I was like, man, I would really like to have it like that. So I just purchased that so I could put like the new LED strip in there. So I was just, yeah.
I one of my favorite things is to look at people's Amazon wish lists to see.
You can learn a lot about someone.
Well, it's always interesting to see who's like, it's gonna be super sexy and it's all jock straps and sex toys, and the people who use it to furnish their protein addiction. And then the people who are just like, I don't know, if you want to buy me shit, like here's some stuff that I would like. I'm not going to put a ton of thought into it.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at with it, because it's like I don't like a lot of like having a lot of stuff, but there's like a couple things that I would like to have and need and whatever. So there's just like, well, I don't need this stuff like at the moment, or else I'd buy it myself. But if someone would like to buy it for me, that'd be cool.
It's the LED thing. It's like an expensive pair of sunglasses, and then some other LED thing. You have a very specific taste.
Yeah, and a generator.
And yes, that is what that is. I was not sure. Thank you for clearing that up. So congratulations on already an amazing start to 2021. You won huge at Gay Viennes a month ago.
Yeah, I got a buy scene at Gay Viennes, but it was XBiz that like really had like a nice award for that one. That was really cool.
I mean, they all blur together. Everybody's got an award show. We're going to have an award show probably in a year or two. So
there you go.
I'm going to give you your award now. It's going to be an LED light.
Yes.
But so, I mean, yes, XBiz, you won performer across straight and gay porn.
Yes, it did. It was
and you are one of very, very few performers who has kind of, forget crossing over into mainstream Hollywood, crossing successfully from straight and gay porn is even more difficult in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would be more difficult or less difficult, but like I really think the whole going from porn to Hollywood like successfully is like really hard, because that's like a whole nother ball game. But it was definitely tricky to do the gay well, I'm not going from one to the other. It's like I'm continuing to do both. So but yeah, that is can be very tricky. It's just like you just have to keep yourself like as a reliable, responsible performer, and you can't give anybody an excuse not to hire you. That's kind of like the trick behind all of it.
It's like having a lot of tabs open in your browser.
What do you mean?
You've just got to keep toggling back and forth. And you got to stay on focused on tasks.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, not to, I preface this with like, I'm so laid back and easy, and now I'm going to get into like some shit. But there's still like a stigma about doing straight and gay porn. Do you encounter that a lot?
It's not like in my face per se a lot. Like, it's not like people directly giving me shit for it, but there are challenges, complications because of it. Um, it's like I'm finding out, especially as of like recently, because before it was, I was led to believe that it was mostly like directors and agents that were causing the problems, but I would say causing the problems, but like as someone who does gay porn, it's really difficult to get hired to do straight porn because it's like whether it be homophobia or just misunderstanding of how testing regulations are within the gay side. Um, I'm finding out that it's mostly just the female performers that don't want to work with me, and it's I wasn't expecting that like from in the past, but like now that there's like a lot of directors that are bless their fucking heart like fighting for me, and I'm like and they're literally putting themselves in making their lives difficult to hire a male performer when the male performer isn't even like that important on the straight side, but they're actually like helping me by putting themselves more stress just to hire me. And so they're like, we're like for example, there's this one director that hires me, and he kind of like lets me know like, yeah, there's still like I couldn't book you for the shoot because I went through like 6 different girls. They wouldn't work with you. I'm like, wow, really? Like that's such a surprise. But yeah, so it's just stuff like that. But it's like I don't really take offense to it. It's just kind of like some of the people just don't understand that it's like that is the testing, and then because there's like all these old stigmas about there's old ways that gay porn used to do testing, and it wasn't very safe a long time ago, but now it's like safer than the straight side. So it's just like people still don't understand that, and then it's kind of like I'm trying to like get that information out there that's like, hey, we're actually like there's nothing to worry about, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about the testing talent organization that has headquarters across the country that everybody seems to be using.
Oh, talent testing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But they're thorough.
They are, yeah. If you ever take a look at like a performer panel sheet, it's just like there's like 17 different things that they test for, including COVID now.
But I mean, what kept you pushing to work in the straight side when you were encountering pushback there? Probably more pushback than in gay.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, there's really no pushback at all on the gay side. Like they just don't care because it's, like they've been probably, well, most people on the gay side have had some sort of like pushback in their life for being gay or like whatever their sexuality is. And so I think they understand that. And so it's just like, why would we hate someone for doing straight porn? It doesn't make sense. But where the pushback comes from is the fans.
And gay men are just too horny. Like,
yeah, but it's like sometimes like the fans will like there's a few fans that will like hate on you for it, but it's really not a big deal. I'm sorry, I totally forgot the question.
But why keep pushing to do straight? Why keep pushing to do straight? Or initially
to do it, because it's like that my sexuality, I want to be able to express my sexuality based off of my interests. So it's just like I like men, but I also really like women, and it's just like I would like to be able to do both because that's just what my interests are, and it just feels like strange not being able to do that. So, and there's always been like that kind of pushback. So I just kind of wanted to be like, I wanted to do both, and then I was just like, in the process, if I can make it like known that it's okay for people like in my position to do both, then great. It's just kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, but it's it just seems like an outdated idea, like not to be able to do that. So I'm just like, well, let's fix that.
You are blazing a trail. You're a trailblazer.
Trailblazer. That was actually my high school's mascot. Or no, he was just a blazer. It's a little fire. Never mind.
No, we're going to pursue this. What the fuck is a blazer?
What's up?
What is a blazer?
I don't know. I don't know why they thought that was a good mascot, but it was literally just like this little fireball, and I was like, he's the Blazer. And then like my high school was like, everyone was just like, yeah, we're the Blazers. Like we're just, and everyone's like, so what? You just get high all the time? Like you guys are just like constantly smoking, and it's just like, no, just these little fireballs that don't make sense.
Was this Florida?
This was suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, it sounds like Florida.
Yeah, right.
That's a very Florida high school story, frankly. But when did you start in gay porn? What was your first professional gig?
So I was 18, so that was coming up on 8 years now, 8 years ago, and it was with Corbin Fisher, and it was. I filled out a Craigslist or a Backpage ad, and they were like, okay. And 2 weeks later, I was out in Vegas filming for them. It was kind of nerve-wracking a little bit, but it was just like, it kind of like, I mean, I feel like any person's first shoot's going to be like a little like, overwhelming, but I caught the flow pretty quickly. So I was just like comfortable in my body and just didn't really care,
And I heard that you had trained as a stunt double.
I haven't had any professional training in stunt, but like I do a lot of stuff. Like I have training in like martial arts, and I'm trained skydiver, sport motorcycle rider, just like all the little pieces that kind of add up to that kind of stuff. But gymnast, shit like that.
I mean, is this all stuff that you picked up while you were participating in Blazer team sports?
Yeah, I did gymnastics for 4 years, and then I did cheerleading the last year of my high school career. I was actually the first male cheerleader in my high school.
See, you have been a trailblazer since high school. Look at you, opening up paths for sexy men everywhere. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I did it just for you, man.
But I also heard that you did a Mormon Boys scene for Le Grand Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And you were very eager to toss in some fight choreography, possibly.
Oh my God. Yeah, it I can't believe that he remembered that. Okay. So it wasn't like
I got a 10-minute monologue about this yesterday.
Jesus. So it wasn't fight choreography, I don't think, but there was a part where I forget what the exact story was, but it was like, I think it was one of the elders of the church, and I was just one of the little boys, and he was taking advantage of me, and I was like running up the stairs, and there's a part where like he like pulls me, and like I was like, all right, I'm gonna make this look real, and then I let him grab me by the ankle, and then I just like ate shit down the stairs. But like it was like then all of a sudden like they stopped, they're like, oh my God, are you okay? Like I was just like, that was intentional, it's okay. And then they were just kind of like freaking out about that, but I think that's maybe what he was talking about.
Yes, that is correct.
I forgot about that.
When did you feel like a porn star?
I think it was a pretty misguided time, but when I was filming with Corbin Fisher, because I will say that they weren't like the best people to work for, but because they kind of like closed you out of the whole industry, and then they're like, you don't need to go anywhere else. This is like the #1 site. This is like, you are a porn star. You are like, if you're working for us, you're the best. You don't need to go anywhere else. And so like they wouldn't allow you to have social media. They wouldn't allow you to communicate with anybody. They wouldn't allow you to talk with all the other models. They wouldn't allow you to do anything. And if they found out that if you ever hung out with any of the models outside of while you were there, you would never be hired back. So they basically just like feared you into like not going anywhere else. And so, but their thing was is like, you're a star if you're here, like you're top shit. So I was just like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm a porn star. So like obviously misguided, but it kind of made me feel like that.
Okay, I'm obsessed with the fact that Corbin Fisher is apparently the Scientology of gay porn.
I've never thought of it like that.
Like, stay away from suppressive personalities. We are all that you need. Don't ask about Sherry Miscavige. She's fine. Yeah, I like this. See, I'm learning so much from you. I appreciate this already.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that they didn't want you to interact with fans, because I feel like that has been very much the reality of porn for the last 5 years. Is increasingly it's not the studios, it's the performers who are calling the shots, and that's because you have easier access to your fan base.
Yeah. But I think the thing is, they just didn't want you to know that there was an entire industry out there. Because like when I was doing that, I was just like, this is it. You know, there may be a couple other like straight sites, but like this is like the gay site. And little did I know it was like not shit. So it was just kind of like they didn't want you talking to fans because they didn't want you to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go work for men.com now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Well, you're well out of that, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm very glad to. I mean, it took 4 years to read that, but, you know, I can be a slow learner.
I mean, like so many things in life, someone's going to tell me when it's time to leave. Jobs, parties, relationships. I'll just sit here until someone tells me to go.
Hold on, you're breaking up again.
God. No, I'm here.
It should clear up in a second. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
Oh, there you are. All right, you're back. You're clear.
And where are you driving today, by the way?
I'm in Vegas right now, just doing a little bit of running around. Just going to film with a friend out here. Had to pick up some stuff from another friend and test and doing all that kind of stuff and just hanging out. So we're
I haven't been in a car. I haven't been in a car in almost a year.
Well, you live in New York, so there's really not like a whole lot of need to be in a car.
There is. I barely leave my apartment.
Are you like downtown New York?
No, I'm in Queens.
Okay, got it.
Which is lovely because it's almost the suburbs, so it's a little bit separate from big city living, which would overwhelm a little country mouse like I.
Wait, where are you from?
Oh, Texas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Gulf Coast. But I want to talk about your OnlyFans, because I'm obsessed with everyone's OnlyFans pages. And give us a glimpse into what your OnlyFans entails. What are you providing followers on your OnlyFans?
Pretty much like whatever you want, there's a little bit of it there. Because I do different genres and studio work, I do that also on my OnlyFans. So, you know, whether it be bi, trans, straight, gay, you name it, the videos are on there. There's any range from like super amateur looking stuff to professionally made stuff. And then it's like, I like to communicate with my fans. I like to talk to them and just like, it's just nice to be in touch with them. So I feel like that's like a huge piece of it. It's just being there with them, talking to them, engaging with them, just kind of like, I mean, they're the reason like I am where I am. So it's like, I would like to be, I don't know, just, I guess not boyfriend experience, but I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, just talking.
What is the fastest way for a fan to get you to never reply to them?
Fuck. Okay. The fastest way.
See, you're too kind. You reply to everyone.
Well, if you start like, all right, for example, like the one thing that really kind of like to me is like when you start like using like my real name, like someone like really like dug way too deep into the internet to find my real name and like my information and shit, and then they just come on there and be like act like they like have known me, and they're like, oh hey, like using my real name. I'm like, yo, like that's not appropriate. You got to do some really sketchy shit to find that. Like I don't appreciate it, you know.
Wow, that's dark. You took it dark. I love it.
Yeah. But I would say that's probably like the number one way.
No, I love, and what's been really cool about diving back into porn. So my first job out of college really was in gay porn. I worked for Michael Lucas.
Oh, nice.
That's a different interview.
Yeah. Well, for example, I've never worked for a reason.
But what's been really cool about getting back into the industry now is it's completely changed. Social media has made things completely different, and it's been so cool to see how close a lot of the major performers are on like Twitter, like how much you guys engage with one another and cheer for each other.
Yeah, it's like social media. I mean, especially like in the past, just the year alone, because everyone's been like, you know, on social media more. It's just like it's become, I would say, more of a community because we have like easier ways just to be all connected with each other. So, yeah.
Now, you first came to my attention through a female friend of mine, actually, who thought your tattoo was related to the Amy Adams movie Arrival. She got very excited about it. She posted about it on all of the social medias. And we were like, I don't think he has an Amy Adams Arrival tattoo.
No.
But if you could set the record straight.
Everybody has like a different thought of what this thing is. It's like the same thing for my foot tattoo too. It's like no one knows what it is, and no one like. Some people are like, "Was that a whip? Is that a horseshoe? Is that like a circle?" Someone like, oh, I was like a heart. I mean, it was just, and then you'd be surprised the amount of people that's like, "Oh man, is that from Arrival?" And I'm like, no. So it's called the actual symbol. It's an actual symbol, and it's called an ensō, and it's a Buddhism symbol. I got it when I was 19, and it's I won't lie, I got it because I thought it looked cool, but it's a symbol representing kind of a form of meditation, but it actually represents like many other things. But I kind of liked what it meant, and then I was just like, but really, I just like the way it looks. I'm gonna go get this shit tattooed on my chest. But later did I kind of realize like 2 years down the line, like I realized that it was at that moment in my life where there was like a huge spiritual shift that like started, and it was like obviously wasn't like correlated to that, but it was just like it got it at the same time. And so I'm like, okay, you know what, that kind of represents like that change in my life. It represents like who I am now and like that path I've taken. So it's just kind of like it worked out that way. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice.
But also, you are a huge Amy Adams fan.
You know what? Actually, she's a really good actress, and that was a really good movie, despite the fact that it looks very similar.
All right, I have to wrap up, but final two questions. One, what celebrities did you used to jerk off to growing up?
Well, growing up, because I hadn't really had my first, I hadn't even kissed a guy until my first gay scene. So it was all pretty much just like women. So I never embraced that. So I would say like Jessica Alba and Megan Fox. Although I did always have kind of this slight attraction to Ryan Reynolds and didn't know why. Oh, and that guy from Gossip Girl. The guy with the longer hair.
Chase
Who's that guy
Crawford.
from? I think so. Yeah.
Nate. Yeah, Nate.
Hold on. Nate. Okay. Yeah. I think so.
So wait, just to quickly backtrack. Your first kiss with a guy was during your first scene?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Oh, there. I think you're coming back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Full bars. Possesses waits body. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. We're good. Yeah, that was the first time ever doing anything with a guy.
So, what was your mood that morning?
It was just like, okay, I'm about to do this. Let's embrace it. I mean, I was a little nervous because it's something I've never done, and I wasn't really sure what to do. But I'm like, it's sex. Like, how different can it be from anything else I've ever done? And just kind of treated it like that. And like when it came to the blowjob stuff, I was like, well, what did I like having done to me? So let's do that. And yeah, just like it went really well. But yeah, that was really it.
In addition to being both stunningly attractive with perfect bodies, we have yet another thing in common, where my first gay kiss was also the same night as my first blowjob.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. By the way, how old are you?
Yeah. 36.
Holy shit. You bloomed late.
What? Oh, no, I'm 36 now. I was 17.
Oh, I think meant like, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, you're established in your life.
I'm always discovering new things about myself. That's what's fun about life.
Don't say, like, how old were you when that happened?
17.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes more sense.
Just a cool 20 years ago. God, it's so weird to think that I've been sucking dick for 20 years.
Sucked it once and never turned back.
All right, last question. Because I love TV and I'm obsessed with TV, and I assume everyone else is. What have you been watching during the pandemic?
I kind of stuck to a variety, but let's say recently I've been getting into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's such a show like that you can just like mindlessly watch, and it's like it's so good. It's so stupid, but it's funny. I don't know. Then like the basic stuff I always watch, like Rick and Morty, South Park, and shit like that.
Of course.
The core essentials.
The basic stuff. Cartoons.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Dante Colle. This was a goddamn delight.
It was a pleasure being on. You were very fun to talk to. So thank you for having me.
Please, it was my pleasure. And who should I have on in an upcoming episode? Who would you recommend?
Oh, I don't know who you've had on already, but if you like people that talk a lot and like good stories, Michael Del Rey.
Okay.
He's one of my best friends, and he will definitely it'll definitely spice the show up for you.
Who should I not have on ever?
Oh, come on, man. Don't make me do that.
I'm joking. You can tell me after.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching. Tune in for a new episode whenever one airs.
Thank you so much, man.